What's up, YouTube? And we are live. We are live. This might be a quick live, but let's get to it. So the title of this title of this YouTube live is the things that bother me in this human experience. Now, I've been man, I understand like me, I have a lot of shadow work, I have a lot of healing I need to do. I need to release a lot of trauma and because apparently and unfortunately, in this fucking timeline, everyone's in a healing journey because we're all trying to heal, or at least most, not everyone, but most people are born and trying to heal from generational curses and being around just retarded, abusive, stuck up, stupid ass, retarded ass, dumbass, retarded family members, right? Abusive family members and demonic warfare, and especially in this timeline, a lot of people are talking about narcissists. A lot of people are talking about rejection issues, abandonment, all this other bullshit, right? So I be reflecting my life, and the things that bother me in this human experience, the things I hate, bro. Like I hate how like God will like literally put you in like situations that's not gonna work in your favor when it comes to like anything. But I'm gonna talk about relationships. So for example, I didn't choose my family. Like I didn't choosily to reincarnate into being around family members who are abusive towards me, who had to cut all them off, who like physically, mentally harmed me, right? I had no say so over that. God kind of picked that for me, and God wanted me to experience that shit so I can evolve and grow. As fucked up as that may sound, and people may disagree, especially in the spiritual community. Unfortunately, that's the truth. God, because what else? Like, no, yes, people may say it's a coincidence, but nah, the type of shit I've experienced, the things I've seen my own two eyes. This shit is not a coincidence. This shit was some spiritual type of shit. How they will all act, how like just I can't explain it. It's like I was in a fucking video game, and I got facts to prove my point because people are talking about generational curses. People are talking about signs in a dysfunctional family and experiencing abuse, and we all damn near experience the same shit. So, if everyone experiencing similar shit as I'm experiencing, and they're all talking about, they're dissecting, breaking down generational curses, and the shit they're talking about when it comes to generational curses, they've experienced that shit, and ironically, I've experienced that shit. That tells you that this shit was pre-planned from a fucking spiritual perspective. You know what I'm saying? That's just not a coincidence. So, I mean, I hate when people say like, you know, I'm not saying like because how my mindset is, a lot of people, and I'm nothing against people's mindsets, but me, I have a lot of like hatred and anger towards my spirit, towards God or the universe, whoever is responsible, or even my higher self, or me, whoever is responsible prior for me having to experience a lot of like fucked up situations within people, within relationships. I feel some type of way about it. Most people, they'll kind of brush it off, or like they'll think they're the victim, or like they'll think, oh, he's got to believe in God, he's got to trust in a higher power. Nah, fuck that. Me, like I feel some type of way about who's ever responsible for putting me into these bullshit ass situations, and for what? So, and people may say, oh, but like you can experience that, so you can overcome it, so you become a better version of yourself, so you can help other people and gain more wisdom. But yeah, but I mean, no, because like me, like that shit didn't give me anything. Yes, I got more stronger, I got more wiser, and I'm making fucking YouTube videos, but I'm not making money off of that shit. That shit's not profiting me. If anything, I'm disturbed by the shit I've experienced. So that's the thing that bothers me about this human experience, is knowing that like you do not have free will, and whatever you're meant to experience, whether due to like past life karma or due to what you chose to experience, or and that's the thing that sucks too. If you voluntarily chose to experience certain things within this lifetime, there's no way of getting out, and that's what bothers me. You know, so I don't know if I experienced certain shit, or I don't know if fucking God or a higher power or my spirit, my higher self put me through this shit. I don't know what it is, but what bothers me about this human experience is that like once you experience this shit, you can't get out of that shit. And it's like, haha, you experienced that shit. Now you gotta pick up the pieces and just live out your fucking pre-planned, predestined bullshit ass existence, right? It's fucking stupid. But what bothers me about this human experience is that like you're just like, because all my life I'm always around like people who are very disrespectful, people who are very like where I just cut off. You know, people are just weird as fuck, man. A lot. I'm not sure. Let's say if it is a coincidence. If it is a coincidence, because I know demo is not, but let's say if it is a coincidence, and people may say, "Oh, but how your mindset is, how your vibration, so you're drawing these people in." That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I hate people say that because the same way these people who were born into abuse, they're not attracting abusive people as they're growing up. They're not attracting that shit. These people, they want people who love them, who protect them. Put these same people who are born into abusive family, put these same people around loving family and loving people, right? They're gonna change their mindset. They're gonna change their ways, but they can't. So because they're around abusive people, and when you're around abusive people, you can't. This is why everyone who's born around abusive people, it fucks up their brain, it fucks up their mind, and they become traumatized. But put these same damaged people around loving people, around people who are actually their soul family, people who see them for who they are and who love them unconditionally. These people, their mindsets and their ways are going to change. So I don't never understand when people say, "Oh, well, you attracted this because you're vibrating low, or you attracted this and that because you're at a certain mindset." That's bullshit. I get where they're coming from, but that's bullshit. I hate people say that shit. So unfortunately, what bothers me about this human experience is that like there's no true free will. You're just whatever spirit wants you to experience, you're going to experience that shit regardless. So I be reflecting my life and like I don't like no one is at my fucking level when it comes to emotional intelligence or and you know what I'm saying, like people are just boring. You know, they're just I don't know, man. Maybe it's my Scorpio moon or just because on people are just dumb. You know, just people are just lame. So this is why like once I die and once I'm in the other realms and shit, I ain't gotta deal with this bullshit human experience because people ain't shit. People are just animalistic and barbaric and they're just fucking weird. Like I don't know, man. So it's crazy how like sometimes God or the universe, oh, like as I'm living a life, like I can see in which God or the universe or my spirit or my higher self is blocking me from experiencing certain things. You know, like for example, romantic connections, romantic relationships. You know, I always wanted to be in a romantic connection, always want to date around and experience romantic partnership. But unfortunately, I'm always put into situations where God or a spirit or certain type of energy is blocking that shit from me. No matter how many times I try, no matter how many times I try to maneuver and try to attract that shit, it's just not working. Even through like dating apps or like Instagram or just you know this shit still doesn't work. So God will always find a way to kind of like block that shit from me. I feel like maybe maybe at least I don't know because mom I never been in a romantic relationship my whole life. Never. I've never been in any romantic relationship. Not even like dating around like that. Never. You know what I'm saying? So it's fucked up. So I'm not sure because of, maybe I abused my power in past lives to where like I was getting a lot of pussy, I was getting a lot of women. Maybe I abused it, I don't know, or maybe God is kind of like I guess protecting me, or maybe because God is aware that like a lot of people aren't on my level spiritually, mentally, and they don't have a good heart like me, so they're aware that these people are pretty much losers. So that's maybe why probably God is blocking these people from my life. If that's the case, it kind of makes sense because I look back at the people I try to like build a connection with. They ended up like disappointing me. Like they end up being narcissistic, stuck up and bitchy. And I look back, even though I was heartbroken at the time, I look back. I'm like, yeah, thank God I'm not around these people because looking back, they're actually because I'd be observing their lives. Yeah, and I'd be like, nah, they're fucking losers. And I can't believe I was attracted to them. They're emotionally closed off. They're just ugly as fuck, and they're just losers, and their lives are boring. Even with my twin flame, because my twin flame, like, I think she's pregnant now, and I be looking at her, and she looks ugly, and like, I'm like, to be honest, I'm not even attracted to my twin flame like that. Like she ain't shit. Like, she's not. Like, I can't believe I was crying over her and this and that, and not only that, but she's very emotionally closed off, and she still is, and like, there are times where I call her like stalking on my fucking social media apps, and I'll cuss that bitch out and shit like that. But no, this bitch is weird. I like to be honest, if my twin flame were to come back, if she wasn't pregnant or married or like wasn't in a relationship, I would have rejected that bitch. I did. Well, I didn't, but like she was stalking me, and I cussed her out and I blocked her. But yeah. So I look back and I'm like, yeah, these people ain't shit. Anthony, I'd rather just fuck him and just dip him. I don't want to build with them. I can't. I probably won't even do that. I probably won't even stick my fucking dick in them. The fuck, because how their attitude and how they look and how they are to turn off. I'd rather watch porn and fucking bust one than actually be with them. But even with my family members, like I did cut all them off. They're all just losers. Like And I'm not like most people. People are like, the shit I'm saying is real life experience. You guys probably don't believe me, but I'm telling you, like, I've actually experienced abuse. Like, they actually laid hands on me. They ganged up on me. There's a lot of negative energy around the household, a lot of paranormal activity. It's very like brutal, like the very like unhinged. It's very intense. So this is why, like, I don't like, it was so bad to the point where, like, before I enlisted to the military, because military did save my life. It did, because it made me, it put me in situations where I ain't got to live with them or deal with them. But at the time when I was like, there were times where, like, I was scared of my life. Where I was living in my grandma's house, and at times I was like so scared that, like, I was at one point I thought about like just buying a gun and just protecting myself, because like I was disturbed. I was worried about like them just sneaking up on me one day and just like killing me or something like that, or just harming me. So like, when the process of me trying to pass the ASVAB test to join the military, I was doing that. I was fighting for my life pretty much. So, and the grace of God, now I'm here and I'm away from them. So I guess I could thank God from that. Even though, well, when I say thank God, just keep in mind, me, I'm programmed. I'm like most people, I'm programmed. So this is why I mentioned God like that. So I'm aware of that. But even though I put in the work, even though I did that myself, I just like to say I'd like to thank God, because it just sounds good, even though it's new age bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But even though I put in the work, God didn't do shit, but I add a lot of chaos and turmoil into my fucking life. You know, but I think that's what keeps me going. Just because I can see through the bullshit of this world and this life, it doesn't make it like easier. It's harmful. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fucking human. I have a nervous system. I have a heart. So of course I crave romantic connections, physical touch. I've experienced being touch starved. I never had sex. So like, I'm 26, never had sex. So like, I know what it's like to feel being touch starved. Just fucked up, man. But honestly, but what keeps me going is knowing that like people have it worse, or like some people, they're missing arms and legs, or people in third world countries, like I see them where like they'll get caught stealing, and then like they got their fingers chopped off and shit like that. So people, I saw someone got burned alive and he was still alive and shit like that. So it is brutal out in these third world countries, and then not only that, but just in America too, where people are just homeless and people are missing. Their body is disabled. So when I see shit, when I know that people are experiencing shit like this, who am I to complain? Even though this shit I am experiencing is not fair, it's not fucking fair, and it's like a higher energy where I can't put into words so you guys can understand. I understand that's blocking me from experiencing certain shit I deserve. That I put in work for it, but it is what it is though. But just know that like, sometimes I gotta check myself, knowing that like, yes, it is right for me to be frustrated, but at the same time, other people, they're experiencing worse shit than me. People have harder lives than me, so who am I to bitch and complain? The shit I'm complaining and bitching about, I need to count my blessings, because there are a lot of people, over 80% people in these countries, even America, who are like killed just to be in my position. So who am I to bitch and complain? You know what I'm saying? So, and if anything, these people, if they're in my situation, they'll probably be more successful and shit like that, because they have more mental strength and fortitude and gratitude, and they're not stuck up. But all I'm saying is that like, it's just funny. It's not. Yeah, it's funny, but it's just crazy how like I'm reflecting my life, and I can see how God or the universe or my spirit, they're blocking certain things in my life. Like I can see that shit, especially with connections. Like trust me, I've cutted like all my family members. I don't fucking deal with them. I call them off. I don't trust them. They're very like what's the word? They're very dangerous to me. So it's fucked up. It's fucked up, man. Like me, I know what I'm capable of, so like I can't be around them because it's gonna get violent. So, and I have a right to be violent with them. Just watch my old videos and it's gonna make sense. But not only that, but like all my exes, even twin flame and these karmic soulmates, like I look back and they ain't shit. And I'm not saying out of bitterness, like I really do mean that shit. Like I used like they're not like they're losers. So I look back, and there's one when Chauncey once said that like most people are just, they ain't shit, and he's right. Like most people aren't shit. They're not. And he said something funny too. He said like, if these people weren't actually in the room with you, they got nothing to talk about. And he's right. They don't. They're not mentally stimulating. Like people aren't shit. They're not. Um, but But it kind of disturbs me. Again, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just speaking shit from my own perspective. Don't. You, I'm not saying I'm right, but this one makes sense to my mind. I'm aware. I'm programmed. I'm aware of that. I'm aware. I'm projecting my own thoughts. I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm just speaking shit from my own perspective. Not saying I'm right. I hope that makes sense. But it's just it disturbs me knowing that like I'm aware of what God or my spirit what they're doing, but what makes it more disturbing for me is the fact that I can't do anything about it. The only thing I could do about it is to try to like deal with it. You know, I could cry it out, I could grieve, but there's nothing really I could do to change these situations. When it comes to relationships and people and the types of people I want in my life, I don't have control over that. Unfortunately, I don't. Um, when it comes to like, so I don't want to get too much in detail, but just know that at least for my life, you don't have to agree, but there's no we do not have free will like that. Like everything when it comes to life, or at least in my life, it has to play out a certain role. It has to I have to experience certain things. So even if I was to become wealthy and rich and great one day, um, I still have to experience certain things that's gonna really fuck me up. So especially when it comes to connections and relationships, because there's a lot of toxic people, there's a lot of narcissism. Like I'm aware, like all the narcissistic people, all the like friends who stole money from me and just family members who abused me and shit like that. I'm aware all that shit was pre-planned by a higher power. As fucked up as it may sound. But I'm gonna talk about before I end this, I'm gonna talk about my spiritual experiences. So I mentioned this in my old videos, but I'm doing it right now. So I can't believe I actually saw a ghost, bro. Like when I was like 16, like I saw a ghost. He would that ghost, like he was hiding in my fucking bathroom. Like he was like peeking and shit. I was in my room and I saw that shit. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? So and then he actually walked across my room. So I saw that ghost for like a good 15 to 20 seconds. And he was walking across my room. He turned around and I saw his face and he looked like an old man. I saw some wrinkles, like how he was walking. He's walking like he didn't want to make any noise. And then he was wearing like the type of clothes I think the type of clothes he was wearing is like the type of clothes you'll see people wearing back then, like around the medieval times. Like he was wearing like a robe. And I'm like, what the fuck? So, and once he turned around, I freaked out and I was hiding under the covers. And then after that incident, I looked back up and that ghost was gone. And I just talking about, I have chills right now. So I was calling my mom. I was yelling, "Yo, mom, was that you? Or did you see that? Or who was that?" I turned on the lights. I went to my mom and I explained to her what happened. And it was crazy. Like just talking about right now, I have a lot of goosebumps and chills. But to this day, I don't know why, like, I saw that ghost. I don't know why I seen that, like, that ghost traumatized the fuck out of me. To this day, like, I still get scared sleeping in the dark. Like, I'm scared of the dark, as weird as that may sound. It's a phobia because that I was traumatized when I was 16. Like, I saw a fucking ghost. Like, not just ghosts walking. That ghost was fucking hiding and peeking in the fucking bathroom door. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, like, how am I supposed to explain this shit? And what freaked me out the most was how aware that ghost was. That ghost or spirit or whatever the fuck, or that jinn spirit, it was just so aware, like he was walking like he didn't want to make any noise, like he was hiding like he didn't want to get caught. But like out of everyone, why did I get to see that? You know what I'm saying? So it just shit. So was that like an ancestor? Was this like a coincidence? Was it like someone astral projecting? Who the fuck knows? You know what I'm saying? But that's not the only encounter. I've seen shadow figures like the Hat Man. I remember seeing my brother sleeping on his back. He was like he's facing on his back. My brother was sleeping. He was knocked out, and I peeked on that door and I saw the Hat Man just staring at my brother. Like that Hat Man, he had a huge wide back. He was like a good, like he's probably like 6'8", 6'9", probably 7 feet. And like what's interesting was that when I opened that door and when he was staring down my brother across the door, I felt a lot of negative energy. Even though I was far away from him, I felt a lot of negative energy. And keep in mind I had the lights on, so I saw his whole body type. Like he had a wide ass back, like a lot of negative energy. I saw the structure of the hat. So on YouTube, when you type in the Hat Man, just talking about, I'm having goosebumps, but when you type in the shadow figure Hatman, it may seem new age, but I'm telling you, like, like this shit is actually real. So when I saw that, I'm like, well, what the fuck? So I was looking, I was observing, and unfortunately, the more I opened the door, the light got in the way, and it made the Hat Man disappeared. But again, all that shit happened when I was 16. Like when I was 16, there was a lot of paranormal activities within my household. Looking back, it was so bad. Where like at times we're like, I did. Oh my, yo, I got so many stories. I just unlocked memories from that shit. Holy shit. But I did mention in my old videos, so I'm not gonna explain too much in this live. But just know that when I was 16, like I've experienced a lot of paranormal shit. I don't know what attracted that, to be honest. I really don't. But that shit was insane. Like bro, like it was bad because I remember when I was 16, like it was so bad where like I couldn't sleep in my room because like I felt like I was getting stared at. I felt like I was getting watched. I was hearing voices in my head. I don't experience all this shit now, but when I was 16, like I was hearing like these spirits came in the male voice and also in the female voice. They were calling my name, they were screaming. They'll do that shit at random times, or like whenever I was asleep by myself, I feel like someone was watching me or people was like staring me down. And I felt so uncomfortable. Like you know that feeling when someone in real life is just like staring at you down like that? They're just looking at you. So imagine that, but you're sleeping and you turning your head and but someone's just looking at you like that. That uncomfortableness, that's what I felt like when I was 16. That shit lasted for a long time. Every fucking night, even daytime. Like and during that time period, I was experiencing a lot of sleep paralysis and even during the daytime and nighttime. So again, it was so bad where I felt like I was getting watched. I was being watched. So I was sleeping in the living room with my older sibling, and because my older sibling, like, he was like he wasn't even in high school. Like me, I was in high school. I was 16. I was like a sophomore in high school, and my brother, he was like fresh out of the Marines. He was fresh out of the um, military. So like he will like visit and stay in the house at times, and he will plays like video games or like he'll watch TV. So I always sleep in the living room with him. Because the reason why, because my brother fresh from the military, he didn't have like a room, so he was sleeping in the living room, I think. So that's why I rather sleep in the living room because like the lights were on or like the TV was on and I felt safe. But I still felt like I was being watched. But what was weird is that like I felt like I was being watched from my room. That house was a two-story house. So my room was upstairs. Even when I was sleeping in the living room, I felt like someone was watching me through my fucking room upstairs. You know, it was like there were times where even when I would close the door, like I still felt like I was being watched. I'm like, man, what the fuck, man? So that shit was uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. And not only that, but like even in the middle of the night, where like when I leave my door and stuff like that, and I walk downstairs, I'll see like figures of like a little girl in dresses and shit, and even like I see like tall figures of like a male body shape and shit like that. Like just and I walk through it. It gets to the point where like I was used to it and shit like that. Even walking upstairs, I look down, I see like certain like childlike figures. I've noticed these figures will come in different bodies. So they'll come like in a male body, they'll come like in a female body and shit like that. So tall or short, like in a little kid body or a grown adult body. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, but that looking back, that shit was fucking freaky. Thank God I ain't experienced that shit now. That shit like god damn, that shit was way back. Hopefully I don't get to experience that shit again. But that shit was weird. So I don't know what the hell that was about. So if I die, if God is real, I'm gonna ask God, like, why did I experience all that shit? What the fuck, man? I mean, it, to be honest, it didn't traumatize. It did kind of traumatize, but it wasn't. It was like I was neutral. You know, if it happened, I was like, huh, you know, like it's not a big deal. But I can't believe I saw a ghost. I saw a spirit that day when I saw a ghost or a spirit. That day when that's when I knew there has to be more than what meets the eye, and there has to be an afterlife. There has to be that, you know. So yeah, but what also bothers me about this human experience is that sometimes God will force you into certain careers or certain jobs to where like it wastes your fucking time. I hate that shit so much because a lot of things I want in my heart and desire, God is kind of like making that shit such a fucking hassle just for me to get those things. No matter any type of job I try out, no matter what type of career field I get into, unknowingly, God will always put me in a situation to where I end up getting extremely bored or disappointed with that job, and I'm forced to be here. For example, like the military, like I put in the work to get into the military, and like the job I wanted, when for for when you pick a job in the military, you have to go to this thing called AIT, right? When you go to AIT, that's pretty much like a tech school, and you need to pass those courses. It's pretty much like a college class, but it lasts for like 2 months on average. It depends what job you get. Some jobs, you have to go to school before you get that job some last for like 8 months, or some last for like 5 months, some last for like 1 month. My job lasted for like a month, but that job I wanted, it was a 42 Alpha, so that's a it's human resources. I really so that was my job I picked for the military. So I went to school for that, but I failed that school. I failed it like 2 times. So they dropped me out, and they gave me a random job. But even when they gave me a random job, I still had to go to school for that, and which was supply logistics. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's called 19 Yankee Supply Unit Supply Specialist. So I thought that job was cool. It is flexible, but I'm not gonna lie, this shit boring as fuck. It's boring. Like, I'm just like, there's no meaning when it comes to my spiritual path. So it just sucks knowing that, like, no matter how hard you try, at times God is gonna put you, or life in general is gonna put you in situations where, like, unfortunately, you can work so hard, but when it comes to the results you want, or the things you actually like got, is not gonna satisfy you. So, and I got 2 more years being stuck in that job. I don't get out to 2026 February. So it is what it is, though. Like, there are times where I'm working, I'd be like, man, like, this shit's wasting my time. I could be doing something better, but it just sucks that, like, I didn't chose this. This is out of my control. So it just sucks knowing that, like, at times when life puts you in certain situations, you still have no control over it, and you're just forced to just fight through it. Just bite the bullet and fight through it. So that's what I'm currently doing with the job. But it is what it is, though. Um, um, you know what I don't get? So why the fuck is time speeding up so fast? Like, why are the days going by a lot fast? Like, for real, like, I feel like time is accelerating a lot faster now. So this shit's a trip. It sucks too. After you get off of work or school, it's like you don't have time for yourself. Me, like, I was planning on running, then going for a workout at the gym. I was only running. It felt like 30 minutes, and fucking 2 hours has passed. And I haven't ran in like in a month. So clearly I'm out of shape. But I was running on my free time, and two hours already passed. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? This shit weird, man. And I'm at the gym right now, but it's about to be 1 a.m. and I'm considering not even doing that shit. So this is why I made it live, but this is like, fuck, man. Like, this shit's agitating, man. This shit's irritating. Like, fuck, man. There are pros and cons of time speeding up. Hey, yo, Crib on the Moon. Shut your stupid ass up, bitch. This is why you about to get blocked, motherfucker. Talk all that shit online, but can't even talk that shit to a. I'm not gonna say it. Put user in timeout for 24 hours. Peace, bitch. Damn, I got a lot of trolls now. See, this is what happens. See, this happens to Chauncey one too. When you're speaking spiritual shit and real shit, the government or YouTube is gonna hire certain bots or certain AI or certain people to make different accounts so they could troll you, so they could distract you. So ironically, I got another troll. So hang on. And they're spamming. Yeah, see, look, see, he said Takeda Little Wolf. Who I see? Him too. So I don't know if you're talking to me or not, but if you are a troll, just know that I'm aware. I'm aware that, like, either the government, the Masons, or the YouTube algorithm is using you to distract me. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. If not, it could be a spiritual thing, to where this matrix orchestrated a situation to where you want to distract me by trolling on me. Where it's not gonna work because I'm aware of that. So say one more word, you're getting blocked, bitch. Anyways, Hang on. Put user in timeout for 24 hours. Hang on. Your mom's a hoe, bitch. He's blocked. Okay. But yeah, time speeding up is such a trip. It's very trippy. So it's hard for me to get things done throughout the day. So it is, there are pros and cons. Like obviously if you don't like your job, then time speeding up is gonna make you a lot more it's gonna make it a lot more like less tolerable. I mean, because since days are going by a lot fast, you ain't gotta like tolerate as much. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing. And there are times where I'd be bored of my job, but since time is speeding up, I ain't gotta deal with it as much. So which is good, you know. Um, I'm about to talk about YouTube algorithms. So is this weird how like why is Chauncey One's channel keep getting attacked and blocked? Like Chauncey One, like with this channel, like they banned his shit like 2 times this year. And so what the fuck, man? Like, and also like, um, this is weird because like whenever he makes lives, like Chauncey One, he has 400 subscribers, and he gains, and on his every video he has like 300 like views, 200, 300 views. So why is that? Whenever he makes a live, it's only me, Zealous, Mooney Mercury Baby, and 2 other people, but that's it. So what the fuck is going on? And even though our views, he gets trolls. So who's watching his shit? You know what I'm saying? So like, is it like, does he have like undercover fucking like people who are trying to like target? I don't know. It's just fucking weird, man. Life like, and there's one what Chauncey once said, like in order for you to like attract, if you want to attract a certain amount of money or get women or just anything in life where it's abundant, like you have to be at a certain alignment or you have to be at a certain energy. Yes, put in the work and doing the shadow work, that's part of it, but like just because you work hard and you deserve it doesn't mean you're gonna get it. Whereas you see the average person who doesn't do shit. If anything, they talk about stupid ass shit or they don't do shit to put in the work to even deserve it, but they're getting the results because of the energy. And Chanton is right because there are, and he mentioned this too, and I agree with him that there are certain YouTubers who are like who don't talk about real shit, who just talk about basic stupid ass shit. But I've noticed they have a certain energy, and Chanton he said his same exact shit too, where there's certain people that have a certain energy to where these people who the same people who have a certain energy who talk about dumb shit and shallow shit and useless shit, but they're attracting a lot of viewers, subscribers, and money. You know what I'm saying? And he's right because I could see this shit too. Not just with social media, and that's obviously with he obviously he's talking about within anything. But I noticed this shit on Twitter too, because keep in mind on Twitter I follow certain people where like they have a certain energy and they tweet about the stupid ass shit, but they're getting like fucking like over 100 likes, fucking 50 or over 100 retweets, and they're getting like bookmarks and people are replying and people and over like 1,000 views and shit like that, versus me and other people who speak about real who tweets about real shit or even the same shit and they get no likes, no retweets, no, you know what I'm saying? So it's like this shit plays out in everything. So so it does make me question how life is not what we actually think it is. Could be, but I feel like life is more so a fucking spiritual, energetic video game, which is fucking stupid. But if this is how life is, and it is what it is though. He's gotta play by the rules in this dumbass, confusing ass, limited ass, hellish ass, violent ass, weird ass, confusing ass fucking realm we're living in, you know? But yeah, but it's just fucked up how like God or life or my spirit will kind of put me into, well, not put me, but force me to be people that are actually against me and that people that aren't compatible with me. It's fucked up. The people are compatible are through the internet, and even then it's rare. Like only select people were like I feel connected to. That's Chauncey One, and that's and there's other couple people, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to real life, these people have no business in being my fucking life. But for some reason, God wants to put these people into my life because I guess we're meant to learn lessons towards one another. That's fucked up as they may sound. Unfortunately, that's the truth. But that's all I gotta say, and just know that there is something very sinister when it comes to this human experience that I'm trying to like I'm getting the bottom of it. But that's all I gotta say. Have a good one. Peace.